So I've owned the Amex Gold Card over the past 4 years, and I know it doesn't look like it now, but yes, this is my Amex Gold Card. And well, something happened recently that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. And well, the annual fee popped up. That's right. Every single year we get an annual fees on these cards. And this time around happened to be the Amex Gold Card. And I was kind of left with a decision to make. Am I going to keep it or to cancel it? Oh, Shakespeare said it best, to be or not to be, to keep or to cancel your Amex Gold. And while I'm noticing a lot of other people's annual fees popping up and a lot of other people kind of canceling, it put a lot in my mind and to think about while leading up to this decision. And let's just say I made a decision that I was honestly surprised of. And there's a lot of different reasons for it. And not to hold you any longer, but the answer is I kept it open. That's right. I kept it open, and it might not be for the reasons you would initially expect. So just I came prepared. I got about 7 different things that I have to go over in this video today. 7 different reasons why I kept the Amex Gold Card open, and I just hope that my perspective serves you. So there are a couple moving parts. So the first part is this. That's right. That's right. You guys might have seen it, maybe in some forums and some discords, but yes, apparently there was some leaked images of the white gold card. So limited edition white gold card. Apparently it was via one of those secret URLs that you can kind of put out there, and Amex kind of tests these things to put it out into the world just to see if everything shows up correctly on their end. But some crazy people out there figured out how to put, a URL in there to find it out. So they just found that there is a white gold version that's possibly coming into the market. And, we had classic gold on one side. I'm repping it. And we had CJ at rose gold, but now we have white gold, waving the white flag, and we're giving up, or maybe we can make amends here. So that's the first reason that I wrote down here, is that I wanted to keep the Amex Gold Card open, was because, well, the limited edition white gold, man, if that's a real possibility, I want it. And maybe it's a vanity thing. That's fine with me. Nobody complained when the Delta Reserve 747 metal came out card, that card. Nobody complained when people went out and got that card, right? So don't complain on my white gold, okay? So that's one of the reasons, and there are a lot of other reasons in this, but I thought that was an interesting thing, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty nice. So the second thing is this rumor. So you guys probably seen it ad nauseum by now. Everyone's kind of talked about it, but I got to put it in here, which is Amex to increase the Amex Gold annual fee to $325. And remember I talked about earlier those little links, right? That the people figured out these URLs. So that's essentially like these QWWW links. And they have it linked here. And if you look, access denied. You do not have permission to access this here. And essentially that led you to this page that Doctor of Credit actually showed, which showed the Amex Gold Card at a $325 annual fee. And a lot of people put their predictions out there. They said between 325 and 375, even some a little bit higher. So this is considerably lower than a lot of people actually expected it to come in at. And there is this leads me to one of my bigger decisions. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a video a few months ago. It was talking about the prediction for the new Amex Gold Card. And it was essentially talking about what my thoughts on where the credits were going to go with the annual fee. And you could see by the thumbnail, $350 annual fee. So maybe I missed the mark there. Cool. And you could see I have some emojis down at the bottom, right? These little circles. We got Uber Eats, we got a hotel thing, and then we have Resi. So the idea was, as soon as I saw the revamp of the Delta cards, remember the Delta card revamp maybe 6 months ago now? They didn't have Resi credits. Now all of a sudden they have Resi credits. Now they have rideshare credits, all these different things. And my estimation is that they've owned Resi for long enough now, right? I think since 2019 that American Express has owned Resi. I think it was a $200 million acquisition, that they are going to now make everything go in-house. Everything is starting to be cut back. They're trying to save as much money as possible, it seems. Less retention offers, less welcome offers, in some cases, sometimes higher, and raising of annual fees. So I estimated that the Resi credit was not going to be exclusive to the Delta cards, and that the dining credit on the Amex Gold card was going to convert over to Resi. Is that right? Who really knows? Nobody freaking knows. It's all speculation, and I know some people hate speculation, but I mean, the whole world is speculation. You're always speculating on if you like somebody or not. You don't really know them. If a stock is going to go up, if you care about the company, you do the correct fundamentals. Is the stock going to go up? Who really knows? It's all speculation at the end of the day. So it's good to be prepared for the worst and expect the best, right? So the idea is, if it does go to Resi and what have you, then cool. maybe that's a little bit easier for me to use personally. But there's a couple of reasons why I personally decided to keep it open, even beyond some of these vanity metrics. So the first thing is, well, I just renewed, right? I renewed a $250 annual fee. Now, if this is true and it gets revamped at the $325 annual fee, well, that doesn't concern me anymore because I already locked in my $250 annual fee. So I'm good for another year. Okay, cool. Now, if you also agree that it's going to be revamped to a 325 annual fee, you also probably agree that they're going to add some more credits. In the history of American Express, even just looking specifically at the gold card, you guys may have not remembered, but back in I believe 2018, when it was right before it was revamped to the 250 nowadays, it had a $195 annual fee and it had an airline credit, much like how the platinum card kind of has today. And they got rid of that and they added all of these different crazy, dining credits and what have you. So there's I don't think at least 90% of the time, anytime an Amex card gets revamped and raised an annual fee, there have always been a bunch of whether hard to use credits or even impossible to use credits to offset that additional annual fee. So in my mind, okay, if you agree that it's going to raise the annual fee, if you agree there's going to be additional benefits, and I locked in at a 250 annual fee, even if it does nothing, I'm still just in the same place as I was yesterday, before I renewed, before these changes would ever come about. But more than likely, they're going to be adding things like they have been on all of their cards over this last year, the Hilton cards, the Delta cards. So no matter what, I will be coming out plus positive, regardless of what they add. If they even add it, if they change it to a $15 a month dining credit instead of 10, okay, I'm still getting an extra $60 every single year that I wasn't getting before. Another thing is, like I also said, I have this YouTube channel. I'm in a unique position where I talk about credit cards every day. It's my entire life. You guys know this. And I can share my thoughts on a particular card and firsthand experience as I experience them. In this way, hopefully, some people can see the mistakes I'm making or sometimes the good things that I'm doing, and they can base their decisions off of that. That's basically a conduit of information. So if we get knocked out of the park and we have some weird credits or crazy credits that we never would have expected, I want to be there to experience it on the front lines, right? I want to experience it when no one else can. If people are canceling, what have you, I want to be able to experience that so I can talk about it. And at the end of the day, it's just history. It's history in our little niche of a world that we take very seriously. So I think it's important for me to actually keep it open, even just for the YouTube channel to talk about it and to have experience with down the line. Now, I guess whenever you talk about YouTube channels, you also talk about referrals. Some people say you only keep the Amex Gold for the referrals. And I'm sorry to say, but this card is not a referral machine. It's not even close to a referral machine. In fact, it's a 0% referral machine in a lot of cases because I think a lot of people know by now, but everyone's, from what I can understand, people in Discord, what have you, all of our referral links have been kind of wiped away. At least since 2022, since I pretty much started on YouTube, I think my referrals were basically taken away a few months after I started, something like that. So over the past couple of years, I've gotten one referral for the Amex Gold card. So thank you, whoever that was, but one person ever. So it's not a cash cow for me. So I don't care about it for that case. But I understand if people do want to keep it open to referrals, it can be very lucrative, but it's just so hard nowadays because you have like Resi offers and you have these incognito window offers. More than likely, they're doing better without referrals. So you'd rather get the extra points and what have you. So who really knows? However, if you do decide to use looking to lock it in, then I appreciate you. Go right through here. You could also. I'm just kidding. Anyway, another thing I wanted to bring up was this. So let's look at the Amex Gold card today. So if you're somebody who's on the fence about the Amex Gold card today, and you're like, I don't care about my inquiries, I don't care if my 524 status, I just want to get into the Amex ecosystem, or I just want to get a large sum of points via welcome offer. Cool, all very valid points, and why I would actually mention that if I'm a person who's looking to get into the game with American Express, the Amex Gold card, and I'm prompted and ready for this card, then I probably would apply now. Usually I don't make too many recommendations, but here's my thought process on it. One, again, you're locking in the annual fee of $250 today. I apply right now, I can get a $250 annual fee. Okay, cool. You're also locking in, like I just opened up this browser and I got 90,000 points, right? 90,000 points for the same $6,000 worth to spend. More than likely, they're not going to raise this minimum spend requirement even after the annual fee raise because, well, the platinum card minimum spend requirement is 8,000 right now, and they just changed that. Unless in some world where they change it to $10,000 in 3 months for the platinum and now 8,000 for the Amex Gold, I don't really see that happening, but I guess it's a possibility. But regardless, 90,000 points, even at the worst redemption method, is high enough to pay for this annual fee a couple of years over. So even if you get nothing out of this card for the next year, at least you're locking in 250, you're getting 90,000 points if you can get it, and you're going to get to enjoy all these different credits and benefits associated with it, and you can get some experience with the card. And maybe if this is true, you're going to get your limited edition white gold as well. And if you get to the point where you're like, oh, I don't care, whatever, I don't care about the card after a year, well, then cool. You could always cancel when that time comes, and no one ever is going to fault you for that. You just have to see what makes sense for you. So, the next thing that I wrote down here is there was another thing that I did that I would say was a mistake, and there's something you really need to know about that I don't hear a lot of people talking about when talking about these Amex cards. So, if you guys aren't familiar, retention offers. I took a retention offer on this Amex Gold card, which was, I guess, part of the reason why I also kept it open, but I was going to do it regardless. But I got a retention offer, and I'm going to go through the entire chat log and everything that I said and everything I got in just a second. But there's a couple things to know. So what is a retention offer? Essentially, when you call up Amex or you go through their chat, you can tell them your woes about your cards, right? The Amex Gold card, it's not worth it for me, man. It's not worth it anymore, and they can, talk to you and tell you, well, but you used all these different benefits over the year. Is it really not worth it to you? To which you say, no, it's not worth it. And then a couple prompts later after that, they will sometimes, but not always, offer you a retention offer, essentially buying you back your loyalty. So they'll offer you, maybe here's 10,000 points for a couple $1,000s worth of spend. Here's a statement credit of $200 for $3,000 worth of spend, basically buying back your loyalty. So I took one of these offers. So let me actually see if I can bring this up on the screen. Okay, cool. So you can see right here, here's the phone conversation I had with the reps here. So essentially, oh, I want to cancel my card, right? That's the first thing you say. And then they'll say, hey, this is membership consulting services. My name is whatever. You say, how's it going? Exchange pleasantries, what have you. So I asked for an offer actually both on my Schwab card and my gold card. And you go through the whole rigmarole. Like I said, you pretty much tell them, things are not worth it to me right now. And they actually mention retention offer is not an inbuilt feature of the card. Even if available, it only creates short-term value. Well, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for short-term value. So then, at least for the platinum card here, they ask like, oh, here's all the credits that you actually use. Look, you use TSA pre-check, you use $400 in hotel credits, which I was like, $400 in hotel credits? Wait a second. You only get 200 every single year on the platinum. What are you talking about? And then they say, hey, you got one in December and you did it again in February. So they like to get real funny with the numbers, in which I say, well, $1,400 in annual fees, right? I mean, come on, it's really expensive. To which eventually you say enough, and they eventually say, hey, okay, I get it, sir. You're looking for your retention offer. And this is what they offered me. They offered 15,000 membership reward points after $3,000 worth of spend right here. In my mind, personally, for a card that's $700 every single year, spending an additional $3,000 to get only 15,000 points back is totally not worth it to me, in my opinion. Considering just a couple of years ago, I got a retention offer of 40,000 points for, I think, $4,000 for the spend. So just $1,000 more and 25K more points. So I think that was well more worth it at that time. And I said it truthfully, it's a bit lower than I expected, but I appreciate it regardless, because obviously we're not owed this, so you can't be upset about it if they don't have an offer or give you a low offer. But I'm still going to try and ask for a little more, right? Hey, maybe 1K spend. You got anything here? So I'm always going to ask. So then even right here, you can see that I asked for the gold card, right? And I said, okay, for the gold card, what can I get? Now they didn't even go through the rigmarole. They just told me like, hey, we'll give you 10K points for $2,000 worth of spend on your gold card, right? That's they were just like, all right, let's just give them this. And in my opinion, that's $1,000 less of an annual fee, or $1,000 less of minimum spend, and 5,000 less points. To me, was perfectly worth it, especially if I cash out 10,000 points via the Schwab. That's $110 in value, so about 45% of the annual fee. In my mind, that was well worth it, and I already had spend coming up close to $2,000 that I had to spend anyway, and I couldn't apply for a card fast enough to be able to hit that spend. So I was like, all right, let's take the retention and let's keep the card open for another year. But so here's something that I think is really, really important and something that you guys need to know before asking for any retention offers. And this is across any company that actually does it. So, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. So if you ask for a retention offer, you can see right here that if you cancel or downgrade your account within 12 months, or if you return purchases you made to meet the minimum threshold amount, we may not credit, we may freeze, or we may take away your points, and we may also cancel any accounts with us, to which you are verbally, or I guess written here, saying, yes, I agree. Just like you get married, yes, I do. And you are essentially agreeing to keeping your card open for another year for this set amount of points. That's the contract. That's the agreement. 12 or 10,000 points for 2K spend, and you keep the card open for a year. So that's the idea. And that is a contract. And again, they can cancel for any reason. So I think one thing that's kind of like gets left by the wayside, unfortunately, is that we forget. We forget if we take retention offers from the year prior, or, we forget, So my thought is, well, make sure you have it in your calendar. As soon as you take this retention offer, go a year out from whenever you actually agree to it and say, okay, this is the day where I can technically, and not be, flagged for abuse, downgrade or cancel the cards. This way they don't flag anything, they don't take away points, call them back, or even cancel your account. So I think it's just something that we forget. And I wanted to reiterate that just in case, that this is a legit contract that you're actually giving with American Express. And they can cancel your cards at any time for that reason. So make sure you know your date. So when you took your retention offer, so this way you don't run into any trouble. So I just wanted to mention that for you guys as well. And I guess I just wanted to also mention that one thing that I think is really important to remember is that any of these cards, right, whether it's Amex Gold card or not, everybody talks about these cards based on their own experiences. And, mine have been, a little bit tumultuous. And I'll be honest, if this retention offer, or these new offers, I should say, like if the white gold wasn't coming out and this annual fee and I didn't have the channel to talk about it, absolutely would just cancel the Amex Gold card. I mean, there's really no other reason for me to have it at this juncture in my life. In my mind, I just figure, take that $250, use that for an awesome, hotel stay that I could possibly use. So in my mind, I'm like, I'd rather the experience of a hotel for $250 versus a fringe card that is maybe at best profiting just a little bit, but let's just say conservatively we're break even on the card, for really no other reason other than probably vanity, just because, I have it on the line card and there's no other reason to keep it. So if it wasn't for all these changes, yes, I would be somebody that's canceling it because I'm just not putting that much spend on the card. But if you're somebody that is putting a ton of spend on the gold card, absolutely it makes sense for you completely. But one thing I want to stress is any card could be justifiable based on you. And there's so many different factors: your age, your financial situation, where you live, how much you're actually spending. Any of these cards can be justifiable. So don't worry if people are canceling cards. Don't worry if people are applying and running out to get cards. Just know and do the math for yourself, do your own research, right, as Sledge says, and decide which card makes sense best for you. And that is the way you can kind of best set yourself up for a win for the future, especially when, these cards are kind of no joke. I mean, $695 for a platinum, $250 for an Amex Gold, $1,000 every single year is basically, could be your maintenance on your home. It could be food for your dog. It could be gas for the entire year. So it's real money that we're playing with. So we want to just make sure that we're getting the most value possible and not worrying about, vanity or what, so-and-so is doing. Just make sure it makes sense to you, and then take the necessary steps forward, for this card. So for me, I'm going to keep it open for another year. What are you guys going to do? You're going to keep it open? What do you think about all these changes? Are these changes even going to happen? And I'm putting my prediction out there. I'm going to say right now, I think that it changes tomorrow. Don't tell anybody, but I mean, we're seeing too many different crazy things right now. We got the limited edition thing, we got the annual fee, like leaked stuff. I don't know. I've been saying this for months and months since Hilton's been doing this. Every Thursday, there's something new with Amex, right? So I'm gonna put it out there. Maybe I'm gonna look stupid, but I think we'll have a new Amex Gold card. I'm gonna say right now it's Wednesday at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna say 6 a.m. Thursday Eastern Standard Time. We will have a new Amex Gold card, and if I'm right, I will be live streaming. You're going to see me sitting right here and be like, all right, guys, we have an Amex Gold. We got a rebate. So if that is true, you better be there because we're going to blow it up tomorrow. I'll be streaming like crazy, talking about it, and I'm very, very excited. So do what makes you happy. Let me know if you guys are going to keep or cancel your gold card, how you like this video style. And if you are looking to jump on the Amex Gold card today because you want to lock in your annual fee, of course, my link is always going to be in the pinned comment below. And if you use it, I salute you, and you will, you'll be in the small list of people who have ever used it. So thank you so much for using that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you.